Hello, Farlanders. You heard the wolf right. But hello, Farlanders. My name is Kurt. Welcome back to Farlands or Bust. Woo! Knew that was gonna happen. Actually, I forgot that was gonna happen, but it happened. Welcome back to Farlands or Bust. This is episode 812 of the series. Is it safe out there, Wolfie? I'm actually a little worried about creepers, to be honest with you. Hey! Ha! Run away! Yep, I knew I should have been. Oh, okay. Hold on a minute now. We gotta clear the area. Clear the premises. With these rude dudes. Yeah. They work... They oh, geez. It's a little bit difficult with the terrain jitter to know exactly where I am. Alright, I'm gonna get him to fall into this water and then he can't follow me. It's fine. Aha! Bamboozled. Get screwed. Get absolutely outsmarted, my friend. Let's go, secure the hidey hole, and hopefully a creeper hasn't also walked in there. Grab Wolfie. Get rid of some stuff I don't really need. And continue on. Continue west, that is, here in Minecraft Beta 1.7.3. Sucker! As we continue walking to the Farlands, as we have been since March 2011. This episode will be coming out on Saturday, January 9th. Ooh, I said that weird. January 9th, 2021. Over on the YouTubes and on the podcasts. Also being recorded live here on Twitch after some initial internet bobbles. And oh, we're still raising money for Equal Justice Initiative over at farlandsorbust.com. It's obviously slowed down just a touch since we raised our goal, but we're up to $5,178.44. Thank you to the folks who continue to donate and ask questions. Got a few here, so I'm just going to talk really slow to make sure I extend all of the time that I need to in order to fill out the entirety of a Farlands or Bust episode. Voice acting. Speaking of voice acting, the girlfriend says I would be good at it. Mostly in response to my reading of that very, very bad book in airplane mode. The voices I do. That's one of those things that I would be interested in doing, but I also don't know how. Like, how? Do it. I think you need to know people, and I don't. I simply don't. Alternately, there is also the aspect of perhaps you need some sort of training in actual, like, acting, since it is voice acting, and I have literally zero. I was not part of any theater productions in high school or anything, or drama club or anything like that. I mean, the closest I came was I was in the high school's radio club, but it wasn't talk radio, it was play music radio. Yes, I have an art degree. I mean, art is often adjacent to the theater, but I had nothing to do with it. So yeah, I don't think that is something that I can particularly be like, well, I'm doing this now, and it will be my career, and then swim into piles of money. But I would be interested. I did do a little bit of voice acting. Remember, speaking of doing this YouTube gaming thing for 10 years. I did do an episode, a couple episodes. Oh, what was the name of the channel? Where they did like a Minecraft animation about pirates or something, and then they brought in a bunch of who were at the time popular Minecraft YouTubers like Kurtjamak. Misadventures on the Sea, that's the one. What was the name of the channel? I know there's, maybe they're not still around, honestly. But yeah, I think like they got me and I don't know. I can't even remember the names of anybody else who was involved in that. In the Little Wood, probably. Maybe Sea Nanners, I don't remember. Cupquake, or whatever she's up to these days. Crafted Movie? Was it Crafted Movie? Maybe. There's a few of them out there who, at the time, were doing stuff. Oh, you looked it up. Well, then why did you say you think it's Crafted Movie? Are you not certain of your research capabilities? Crafted. Neat. Well, go look that up. I mean, that's super awkward. I mean, that was very early in me doing what I do, so I can't say that that's a good representation of voice acting, but, that's the thing that exists. But no, yeah, I do remember... Oh! Hello. Oh, you died before I even had a chance to touch you. Pacifist mode! I think that's just a dark dungeon. I don't think it's actually a spawner. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I mean, I mentioned I started this channel because a lot of people always told me that I had a good radio voice. I did do some call center work. I know, right? You think that would have helped me get over my phone anxiety. If anything, it worsened it. I worked at the call center for Crate and Barrel catalogs. Catalogs? This was before the internet became the way to purchase items, where people flip through a paper catalog and then call the call center to place an order with a person. And like at least once a day there, somebody was like, "You have a great voice." Of course, it was Crate and Barrel, so I don't know if the clientele had anything to do with that penchant for noticing that. That was a weird job. I mean, it was actually a decent job. I don't remember what it paid, but, it was like I think I took it seasonally too, so it really wasn't like a permanent job. But like the weird thing they did is that they like had all the stuff like there. So like people would ask me questions like, "Is this couch comfortable?" And I'd be like, "Well, hold on, I'm gonna go sit in it, I guess." And then I go sit in it, and I'm like, "Well, I'm a tall, lanky dude, so that depends, but yes, it's comfortable." Or like, how does this work? Or, you know. So that was one of those weird ones. I don't know if I ever got so specific saying that. I'm still very cautious about what information I distribute. I don't know that anything can be found out through being a seasonal worker at a call center. But that was one of them. That was one of them. I think I returned twice for that. But yeah, that was a weird one. Like I wasn't, thankfully, I wouldn't ever want to be. I wasn't like customer service. So like we didn't take customer service calls. Like we didn't have to deal with like angry customers wanting refunds or anything. Those we just transferred. But it was also still very much like a call center. Like there was a big board, like especially around the holidays, if it got busy, like nobody should be waiting more than like 90 seconds to be answered. You're messing up if like somebody's been on hold for more than 90 seconds or something like that. This is dangerous. I should probably not get that close to the fire. So yeah, that was weird. That did get me very good at entering credit card numbers into computer systems, just like using the keypad very quickly and accurately, which helped me out in my later career as a credit card forger. In what's it called? I was so good at it, I don't even know what it was called. Identity theft, that's the one. Alright, let's go to sleep and continue in the morning. Did you see that though? Wolfie just kicked that chicken's butt right into the water. Well done, Wolfie. And awakeness. Howdy go. And weird old part-time jobsness. Indeed. So yeah, voice actor. I don't know how I would get into that. Professional identity thievery. Yep, that's what you got to put down on your tax form. All right, I see that creeper. I'm just gonna waltz on by. So yeah, I don't know how anybody would get into that. I don't even know what demand there is for that. Probably none. You know what I did see? Obviously, this has been a week. But I'm kind of remiss. One of the many tweets that I failed to save and remember from the week was somebody saying about, like, if we're watching the events as they unfold, one of the... and, like, you want to do something about it, like, short of, you know, big things about it. So no voice actors. To look into, like, God, I don't even, this pains me. It's one of those, like, tweets that I saw go by and I'm like, yes, somebody, like, else retweeted it or something that I follow. But, like, a field that obviously needs more help is the fields that study new media, the internet, and the spread of misinformation and groups, and, like, not just, like, the technical or even, like, criminal aspects of them, but just, like, the sociological aspects. Like, many more companies are going to need help if they want help, if they want to spend money for that, in, you know, studying these things and then, like, tracking and correcting these things on various platforms and stuff like that. Kind of social psychology, right? But it not as I suppose clinical as that, but like the real world applications and ramifications, and also not so much to be like, oh, you're going to be, you know, a content administrator or reviewer or something like that. Yeah, ethics, even, because, like, that's the other side of it, is like those jobs are mostly farmed out, but yeah, content review, I guess. Yeah, more virtual smarts. And I'm like, that would be interesting. That would be something that I could feel like at least would have the aim of making a difference. You know, as much as we all like to say how terrible the internet has become, like, okay, then let's take control of it and steer it back in a different direction, another direction. Look at all these pumpkins, though. We've had many more than 14. I think we had an 18. Is the biggest you can have. So yeah, I don't know. That I really wish it was so eloquently said, much more eloquently than I can say it. And I want to be a voice actor. That's the thing. Voice actors, they read off of a script. One thing to do that. Another thing to have a brain that memorizes things. So yeah, that was an interesting, I think, idea. I suppose. Another one was that, like the way social media has transformed everything, including how, you know, we're like abandoning YouTube and, you know, everything has a comment box. There's few to none, like all of these websites have shifted from content to discourse. It's no longer about content. It's discourse, and then that's where things go very far awry. You know, think of the difference between Netflix and YouTube, you know. That's the difference. It's content, one-sided to be consumed content versus a discourse. And that's even YouTube in our I don't know how many of you have used the actual like YouTube uploading feature and have like the studio, the YouTube studio. The tab that used to say your videos or videos, you know, where all of your videos. Well, that... Oh, there he goes. I thought, did that squid just up and disappear? What used to be my videos is now content, which is kind of, you know, twisting the knife in the back is really what it is. It's really leaves a bad film over the whole thing, doesn't it? It's no longer videos, it's content. Yes, quite. Thank you for that, YouTube. Thank you very much. And it's not even like my videos or my content. It's content. May contain content. We saw it coming. We saw it coming 10 years ago. Suddenly, it's not may contain content. It's everything is content. And nobody is content. Anyway, let's get to some questions here from donors to the Equal Justice Initiative over at farlandsbus.com. Like Cassinia467, who asks, if I can get out of this water here, do you have any style reference or interest in architecture or interior design? Are there any things you would like to remodel in your own home? Look at all them squids! If you could move into a home of a different style... Whoa! That was a high-speed wolfie, and he didn't take any damage. If you could move into a home of a different style, e.g. contemporary, Mediterranean, etc., what would you choose? Any thoughts on tiny homes? Whoop. Not really. The end. No, like I don't follow architecture. 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 I mean, like, I'm aware of it, like, and have taken like architecture tours of Chicago and stuff like that. But no, it's not really a school of content that I really follow too much. And specifically with like homes and stuff, I guess, too. Are there any things you would like to remodel in your home? Well, it's not my home. It's the girlfriend's. She did a little bit of a paint and remodel of the bathroom. We need to do the kitchen. It does not start with a B. But I don't like there simply isn't time or money for that right now. But we did recently just get a new replacement oven as kind of a stopgap, because it's a really old 70s oven and the door doesn't like to close, which is a little bit important for an oven. So we didn't have many choices, or rather the girlfriend didn't have many choices, because it's a built-in, like a wall oven, and it's small. So all that there are here, my European friends who are all asleep can help me out. The only things that exist are convection ovens, European convection ovens, which are not things I'm familiar with. It's electric, boogie woogie woogie. So we got that, and this weekend we're going to install it. So any convection oven tips? Let's go to sleep. And awakeness. And awakeness. Oh, did my boat still live? It did. But yeah, like even that, I like, as long as it's functional, I'm fine with it. Like the place I owned back in Illinois was just a condo, but I know like a lot of people, like my sister even, when she lives in a new place, like has to paint all the walls, and like if there are like brass fixtures and doorknobs and stuff, got to change all those to something else, and I just don't care. Like if it's ugly or broken or non-functional, then yes, I'll replace it. But like I just don't care. I hate painting. I hate painting. I have an art degree. No, I just hate painting walls. So I will live with white walls or cream colored walls. My first apartment bedroom was like a dark purple wall painted by the previous tenants, and I was like, whatever, it doesn't matter. So yeah, I have it's more of just a lack. If it functions for me, then fine. But like when an oven stops working or a faucet is leaky, like okay, then replace it. But yeah, even then. I think I probably get that from my family. We had fairly simple appliances and things growing up that, like, only recently, like, the house I grew up in, my dad still lives in it, and, you know, it's 32 years old or whatever, and only now has he replaced the refrigerator and the oven because they broke. So yeah, as far as like interior decorating, like I arrange things, I guess, how I like them. I know, like, Cone knows, and a few people who have visited my house, my old house. I had my living room, everything was on angles! But that was simply because one of the walls, the main wall, was taken up by our fireplace, and I couldn't, I mean, I could, but I didn't want to put my TV and stuff in front of the fireplace, so angles! I had to have my couch and TV on an angle for my dangle. But yeah, I'm not, yeah, that's just not something I ever got into. I don't like any of these shows either. The love it or list it or flip it or flop it or dip and dot it. I'm not into those. I'm not into reality shows regardless, but if you had to move into a home of a different style, clean, convenient, I suppose. Like I know what I'm not a fan of. Like I don't like the sterile, modern, living in shipping containers style of design that you see a lot in gentrified parts of cities and things like that. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that at all. Mostly because it clashes with what surrounds it, and also it's just like harsh and sharp. But at the same time, if like I was living in one of those things, I would learn to deal with it, and I wouldn't change it just because I'm like, whatever. Does it work? Yes. If it doesn't work, then we change what doesn't work. Practicalist. I'm a practicalist, which is a word I just made up. What are your thoughts on tiny homes? I think they're just a quirk, a fad. Kind of the same things we were talking about 3D printers. Where like they're interesting to some people. And maybe they can make it work. But also it's just a like a hobby, I think is all that I can make of that, I suppose. Indeed. An anonymous donor asked, or says, or presents a query. You must pass down a physical item that will be passed over and over to all the generations after you. That's assuming that there will be generations after me. I am the last one. What is it and what is the importance of it? Ooh. Hard-hitting questions here. This is the first time we've ever had one of these questions. Help me out, chat. What would you choose? Like for yourselves, not for me. Oh. Ah! Don't go back there to get hurt again, Wolfie, you dingus. Interesting question. Like, I don't know. Well, I was like, my initial thought was like a car. But, like, at the same time, I'm not very sentimental about my cars. And, you know, I don't want to be, like, stuck with one. And then, like, not be able to try something else out, right? A Tamagotchi. Woo! Not that way. Huh. Bread maker. Yeah, I don't think they don't specify like something that I already specifically own. Like I just think this is like meant to be anything. Yeah, I really don't have anything. Red? Cone just posted a picture of red. A picture, an emote. Huh. Having moved multiple times across country, you come to let go of things pretty easily that are like, well, this could mean something, but I don't have room to pack it, so adios. It's the only thing I've kept for more than 10 years. I'm like trying to think of something like useful that could be used regardless of the time, and I'm thinking like, okay, like telescope to pass down the importance of a universal perspective on the universe and life and the world we live in. But like I don't have like a telescope that's like means so much to me. Yeah, that makes sense. Like tools, a tool or tools are similar. Like I don't particularly have anything, but like I know my grandparents had tools, or my grandfather's tools, or something like that, that are like, you know, like a hand cranked drill, you know. But even that's like, I don't own any of that personally. Like I think my dad and people on the other side of my family have like memorabilia from my one grandpa who served in World War II, like his uniform and diary and medals and things like that. Um, yeah, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. And it's also like, it's a generational thing. I remember reading articles and stuff about how like millennials aren't interested in taking their parents' fine china collection or you know, things like that. Well, it's because we can't afford houses to put them in, or fancy armoires to put them in, because they don't serve a purpose for us. So yeah, it's like a cultural, societal, generational shift. You know, we buy disposable furniture not because we hate the environment, but because it's cheap and because we constantly keep having to get up and move because rent keeps rising and things like that. So yeah, that is a tough one. That is a difficult one. Like I do have some things that my mom gave me that was my grandma's that I like remember as a little kid being like interested in, like from her little shelf of knickknacks and stuff, and I'm like, that's okay, that's sentimental. But I don't have them on display. They're still like in the box from when I moved to just to like safe keep them and stuff like that. Save down, pass down the flob save file. Ooh, you're making some big assumptions about compatibility and computing for the distant future, aren't you? This will have to do, I think. I mean, heck. Oh, I can't even load up the original Tomb Raider right. And that's just from 1997. Oh, Wolfie, no. This is not gonna work. You're gonna have to go on and get. Hey, uh-oh. Well then. This is interesting. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, sit right there. Well done. Well done. Cooking books. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. That is a good question, and perhaps one that. That in the comments and in chat we could consider more thoroughly than my brain is allowing me to multitask and do while I'm making this end of the episode hidey hole. Your copy of the Guinness Book of World Records. You woefully overestimate how much that means to me. Oh, man. Like, no, I understand that it's like, oh, that's neat, and like, all of you guys think it's really cool and stuff like that, but it doesn't even have my name on it, like my real name. So it's kind of like, they didn't even give me one. I don't even think I have the original one. they sent me last year's one, which I got like a little blurb in. So much stuff in my inventory. So yeah, no, that's a very good question. And yeah, I'm trying not to take it too literally, as I often take many things, and I'm like, well, our generation, and well, society. But yeah, like I think a telescope would be a good thing. If not the actual item, but just like the concept of it. Because like if I had a really good telescope when I was growing up, I might have gotten more directly involved in that than I have later on in life here. So like maybe they don't pass down the literal telescope, but like that gets them interested. They buy one that matches their time of technology, and then they pass that down, and etc. etc. The idea, ideas, knowledge, pancakes. So yeah, farlandsorbust.com. Spooky noises. farlandsorbust.com. Kids, this is your grandfather's figurative telescope. Imagine with me, will you? Oh, that was funny. That just totally threw me off my game here. farlandsorbust.com. Donate to Equal Justice Initiative. Any amount. And can you think of a more mind-bogglingly original question than that one? I challenge you to do so, and we'll get to it in the next episode. This has been episode 812. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. Well, hold on. I'm going to go sit in it.